Hugo, Oklahoma. That's where John hails from. He said, what if people are not happy with the 12-team playoff? John, what are you talking about? There's no way this could ever happen. John, it's going to happen. Not to everyone. Not to everyone. A lot of you wanted this. You've got it, and a lot of you are going to love it. And I'm not going to call you a bad person. I told you I'm not even going to harp on this for very long on this show. And I'm not going to right now either. This is going to be a couple minutes. But here's what I think. I have a suspicion. I have a theory, if you will, and let me just float it, and you guys tell me what you think about it. There is a group like me that just doesn't want expansion. There is a group that is all for expansion. So those are two groups. Then I think there's this third group that is the least vocal. I think politics is also the same way in this country right now. There's a third group kind of in the middle that looks around both sides and says, I don't think I fit into either one of these classifications. I don't really fully know where I stand right now. And with the playoff, I think a lot of you are looking around. You've heard the pro-expansionist argument. You've heard the anti-expansionist argument, or as I call it, the traditionalist argument. And you're looking around, you're saying, there sounds like there's some merit on both ends. And I think maybe those of you who just apply logic and remove emotion, you also still may be in the middle, but you say, the one thing that those traditionalists do have a point on is, if we go the way of expansion and we're wrong, there's no going back. And that's true. And that's what I think will happen for some of you, is we will go the way of expansion. And at whatever point it happens, you will come to the realization that this isn't all that it was cracked up to be. It turns out we got fooled into going down a road that would make a lot of people rich we'll never meet. And this product feels so sanitized. This product does not feel authentically college football. It feels very corporatized. It's kind of like we were talking about a second ago with a different topic. And that's John's big what if. Well, I'm telling you, that's going to happen to some of you. Some of you won't mind, some of you will love it, but there are several more of you who think you want it now, or who think you may want it now, and you get it and you don't like it. Now, I will tell you, I'll just fully admit to you, I don't want expansion, and I hope I'm wrong. Because I definitely don't want to be doing these segments for the next 10 years. I want to get into the playoff era. Think about how fun it would be for me to just sit here like a piñata, and every week you just get to bang and bang and bang away. Yeah, immunity. But you get to do that to me because I was wrong and you were right, and turns out we are in the greatest era in the history of college football. Well, I would love to have that. I don't think it'll be that way, but I would love to be wrong. So I'm not going to be the old guy on the front porch waving a cane at anyone. I hope you guys are right. I just don't think you are. But what'll happen, John, is if we get to that point, then that's the next question. The next question, as it always is when you don't like something, is what can we do about it? Nothing. At that point, what can you do about it? You know good and well we'll never contract a playoff. We'll never go back to having a smaller number because that would mean less money. And you can't do that. There are also contracts involved. So my recommendation has been and always will be, place the emphasis on the regular season. Tom Fornelli over at Cover 3. There are other things about Tom Fornelli's personality. He's not just a dude who does a podcast, but that's probably how you know him. He took a meme from that LSU Florida baseball national title where the dude was talking to the girl and the girl wants none of it. And he put the dude as saying college football playoff expansion is going to save the sport. And then he was the girl saying, nope, not interested. And of course, that led to the usual pro and anti-expansion argument in the comment section. And so I come in there. I tried to refrain, but I came in there because someone said, man, imagine thinking more football is a bad thing, which is just the most intellectually bankrupt argument out of all this. If you're for expansion, okay, please don't just come at me and say, imagine thinking more football is a bad thing, because it's such an easy argument to shoot down. It's a law of basic economics. You cannot let me go back to sixth grade for you. You cannot decrease the scarcity of something and maintain the value of something. So those of us out there who say that expansion is going to be to the detriment of the value of the regular season, we're just right. It's not even opinion. It's just fact. that you can't have more of something on the back end, but have the stuff on the front end still mean the same thing. It won't. It won't. Now, the difference is some of you are willing to trade that and some of you aren't. But the third party out there who says, oh, no, we'll get both. No, you won't. When have you ever gotten that with anything in life? So I go back and forth with this guy because he says, oh, imagine not wanting more playoff games. Imagine not wanting more football. And I said, imagine thinking you can decrease the scarcity of something and maintain the value. Like when we print more dollar bills, you know what happens to the value of the dollar bills already in your pocket? It's basic stuff, man. You don't even have to have attended college to know this. College in some cases could probably warp your mind on this. So then he comes back at me and he says, oh yeah, imagine thinking giving teams a shot and having a true playoff decide a champion on the field is a bad thing. And I said, imagine thinking that the emphasis for a regular season sport should be on the playoff to begin with. That's where our argument comes from. Those of us in the anti-expansion argument. The great myth is that we don't think the playoff would be entertaining. I've explained this a million times. I know this is old hat if you listen to me, but we got a lot of noobs. We got a lot of new listeners listening every time. So just so we're clear on where I stand on this, if we were to just snap our fingers and we start in December, the playoff's going to be incredible to watch. That's not our point. It's not my point, at least. It's going to be incredible to watch. I just think it removes a ton of urgency from the regular season, and I don't place, first and foremost, my eggs in the basket of the playoff. I'm different with the NFL. I look forward to the NFL playoff. I look forward to the regular season of college football. I am never voluntarily sacrificing any value in the regular season just to get a champion, because college football works differently than every other pro sport. It is totally inequitable. It is not built on an evenly built foundation. Colleges are not, and therefore the appendages we call football programs attached to them are not. It's like if you were to watch a race, let's say that you and me and Colin and Bradley and Jesse, we're going to go out on a track and we're going to race. Okay, well, if we all start at the same start line and we all got to get to the same finish line, it's pretty fair that we just judge each other on who got to the finish line first. That's what they do in pro sports. Everything is built to make people start at the same start line. Same salary structure, same roster sizes, same draft protocol, same everything. In college football, Central Florida has been around fractions of the amount of time that Alabama has been around. And so then you've got disproportionate inequity in scheduling. And this is a bad example because Central Florida is about to go to a Power 5 conference. But that would be like watching that race and Bradley starts 300 meters ahead of me and Colin's 200 meters behind me even. And Jesse's just already towards the finish line. And there's the gun. All right, let's just judge him based on results. Well, that's stupid. That's how the you are what your record says you are crowd sounds, by the way, in college football. It's dumb because they didn't start anywhere close to the same. And I'm talking about scheduling now. It's one of the many flaws I have with the auto bid model. And so anyway, that's its whole separate argument. But for those reasons, among many others, I have never looked at college football and said, okay, even with all this inequity out here, I'm going to worship the playoff results. That's going to be the end-all be-all. I don't care about that as much. I care about the regular season. And for that reason, I've always said no to expansion. Some of you have said yes to it and you'll get what you want. Some of you have said yes to it and won't get what you want. And the sun will come up the next day either way. But that's how I look at it.